Our story begins in 1876 with Alexander Graham Bell, a man who probably never imagined his invention would one day fit in our pockets. With a twist of wires and a spark of genius, Bell gave birth to the telephone, a device that would forever change the way we communicate. Before the telephone, sending a message was a painstaking process. It involved pen, paper, envelopes, stamps, and a whole lot of patience. It was like running a marathon, but with words. But Bell's invention changed all that. Suddenly, communication was no longer a race, but a leisurely stroll in the park. With just a few turns of a dial and the sound of a ring, people could have a conversation across miles, as easily as if they were sitting across a table sipping tea. Bell's telephone was the talk of the town, literally. It turned sending a message from a snail mail marathon to a chat over tea, minus the tea. Fast forward through decades of "Can you hear me now?" and we've got telephone networks sprawling like spiderwebs around the globe. What started as local exchanges in the late 19th century soon grew into national and then international networks. These silent, unseen arteries pulsated with the conversations, secrets, and stories of billions. The pivotal moments? Transatlantic telephone cables in the mid-20th century, shrinking our world just a little more. Then satellites, those silent celestial sentinels, beaming conversations across continents, across oceans. Suddenly, long-distance calls seemed like an outdated term. And let's not forget the humble fax, a relic of the past, but a stepping stone to the future. It was like magic, transforming written words into electrical signals and back again. These networks, these invisible threads, they connected us. They made our world smaller. And in a way, they were the precursor to something even bigger. These wires were the internet's great-great-grandparents, minus the cat videos. Then, in the 1980s, mobile phones arrived, and suddenly phones weren't stuck to walls anymore. They were big, they were clunky, and they were incredibly expensive, but oh, the freedom they brought. The first generation of mobile phones, or bricks as they were affectionately known, were about as portable as a small suitcase. But they marked the start of a revolution. As technology advanced, these bricks began to shrink. By the 90s, they could fit in your pocket, albeit a big one. In the early 21st century, the mobile phone had a growth spurt, but this time it wasn't in size, it was in intelligence. The smartphone was born. With the power of a computer, the versatility of a Swiss Army knife, and the connectivity of, well, a phone, these devices changed the game entirely. These brick phones could double as self-defense tools, but soon, they slimmed down for the runway, turning into the smart, sassy smartphones we know and love. Enter the internet, a game changer that turned telecommunication into a digital ballet, where data dances at the speed of light. This vast interconnected network of computers opened up a universe of possibilities that was once the stuff of science fiction. Suddenly, the world became a global village, with information zipping across continents in the blink of an eye. The internet revolutionized the way we communicate. It brought us emails, replacing the need for snail mail. It gave us video calls, making face-to-face conversations possible regardless of geographical distances. It introduced streaming services, changing the way we consume entertainment. Whether it's binge-watching our favorite shows, jamming to the latest hits, or keeping up with global news, the internet has it all. And let's not forget the social media platforms, chat rooms, and discussion forums that have redefined human interaction. All these services at our fingertips anytime, anywhere, emails, video calls, streaming, it's like a digital buffet and we're all invited. What's next in this saga? Holographic calls, telepathic texts? Well, it's hard to predict with absolute certainty. However, given the pace of innovation we've seen, who's to say what's around the corner? We've gone from static-filled voice calls to crystal-clear video chats in just over a century. Imagine the possibilities that the next 100 years might bring. Think about it. Holographic calls could make you feel as if you're in the same room as the person on the other end. And who knows, telepathic texts might not be far-fetched. With advancements in neuroscience and technology, we might be able to send texts just by thinking about them. We're also seeing the rise of wearable technology, devices that can monitor our health, manage our schedules, and keep us connected like never before. The future of telecommunications is bound to be an exciting ride. One thing's for sure, the future of telecommunications will keep us more connected and possibly more confused by our grandparents' stories of the old days of dial-up.